Welcome to another edition of the Academic Skills Podcast. And today I'm joined by my good friend and colleague, Sean Johnson, our Domestic Regional Manager. Welcome, Sean.
Hey, Jason. Thank you for having me on the show today.
Maybe we can start with your role, Sean. What's a Domestic Regional Manager?
Yeah. So hello, everyone out there in the world. So a Domestic Regional Manager essentially helps students kind of find their next step. So I go out and I try to find students who are looking at university, possibly coming to Bond, and kind of talk to them about their journey, their passion, what they're looking to do, maybe different things they want to do in their careers. And I try to hopefully align different things, here at Bond to their paths and try to help them move forward. So that's really kind of what I do.
Okay. But you're not from around here. Whereabouts are you from and how did you get to Australia?
Yeah. So, one, I love Australia. So this is my home now, but yeah, I'm originally from Arizona in the United States. So, out West. And it's kind of funny because I don't think, a lot of people meet people from Arizona. Maybe you hear of the Californias and the Nevadas, Las Vegas and places like that. But yeah, just a little place in Arizona. And truthfully, the reason I'm in Australia is I actually met connections through university, kept in touch with those connections for over 15 years. I was living in China for a few years, called these connections up and asked if I could sleep on their couch for 6 months and see if I might be able to make it a dream come true to live in Australia. Called these friends. Happy to say I'm off the couch 7 years later working at Bond. So a few steps to the journey, but yeah, it definitely is a really cool one. But I can attribute a lot of this back to kind of making the decision to go to university and kind of embrace all of the different things that come along with that.
Tell me about the journey to university and your decision-making process. So, because a lot of people that will be listening will be thinking about going to university, and we've all got our own different stories. What's yours?
Absolutely. So, and again, Jason, I want to thank you for having me on the podcast. And I don't even think I covered the fact that this is really to try to help you guys or the audience out there, navigate through some of your choices. And so me as a student, I remember being in those shoes kind of, I don't know what I want to do. I remember sitting in those presentations when people like myself came to my high school trying to present universities talking about, you should come here and this is the greatest thing for you and go to uni because it's going to help you do this. And honestly, it was a really tough navigation to figure out what it is that I wanted to do. And I started with a bachelor's of abnormal psychology, which sounded very, very interesting to me at the time.
Yeah.
9 degree changes later, I ended up at a Bachelor of Exercise and Sport Science. So
hang on a second, nine degrees later.
Yes. So I want to tell the person in the audience listening right now going, Sean, I hear you, man. I have no idea what I want to do. I have ideas. Guys, girls, people, it will change throughout your career. And Jason, truthfully, for me, it was just kind of trying to follow what I enjoyed the most. And universities, and we'll get into this, and I'm a bit long-winded, but I had an academic advisor, a recruitment manager that helped me through my journey. We used to call him BMOC, Big Man on Campus. And so we used to see this man. He used to go to the gym, but he would help us with our academics, but also give us motivation. And I remember seeing this man and going, man, I want to be kind of that guy. So I was in abnormal psychology. I switched over to elementary education because I started to like these types of things, and kind of went over to kind of that exercise area because that was a part of my journey as well. And to bring it all.
And so how long were you at uni?
I was at uni for 5 years.
Okay. So you got the full experience.
And a victory lap.
And a victory lap. So what did you take from university? So what is university? Is it just about the content in the class, or did it shape you in other ways?
I think you bring up probably the best point of university, because I would say it shaped me so incredibly well for for being an adult, for being a true careers person who, when you show up to an interview, you are prepared and ready to take on that next challenge. Someone asked me the other day, and this is part of my job, but a student is looking at coming to Bond, and they asked me, Sean, what if I just want to do my whole degree online and I just want to stay at home and kind of do it here? And my answer to him was, that's an acceptable way to get a degree. Don't get me wrong. That will absolutely get you a piece of paper. But at Bond and with what we're looking for is we want you guys to engage. We want you to get on campus and feel and breathe and get amongst the other students. And I know we're going through COVID-19 right now, but I know everything we're trying to do at Bond here is trying to give you that experience that I'm talking about, that you don't just come here to get a piece of paper. You come to engage with your academics, to ask questions about investing or where the next architectural structure will be, or why you actually want to do exercise physiology because you want to help the next athlete from your town become the next Olympic, special. So it's just more about, this university experience is really about trying to find what it is that you as an individual are passionate about. And I know you hear it all the time, but not just passionate about, something that you would essentially wake up and go, oh, I could go surfing, or I could go do this thing. And I use surfing as an example of something that people really like to do. But you would choose the degree that you're choosing, to go do. You would choose to go study those things, and you would choose to want to learn about those things. And that's where you start to find something that will really help the world out there.
I think it's a good point, because at Bond, we have a lot of student societies, and we're heavily into sports. And I think that by engaging in a student society and sport, that can translate, help you build employability. It's also good for wellness and whilst you're studying. And I know that you're the coach of the Bond soccer team. And I actually ran into a couple of your players. It was a couple of years ago, and they were telling me about your preseason.
Yes.
And I think it's fair to say it's a little bit grueling. So tell you, obviously you love soccer and you enjoy it, but how's the experience been coaching the young players?
Yeah, it's great. And again, and clearly we're on a Bond podcast here, but it's awesome the way Bond wants to incorporate, different things outside of your degree to kind of make it a well-rounded experience. So I get to work with students that come out and play for the team, get to talk to them about their experiences. But yeah, seeing the motivation that drives our students is one of the things that I think makes me excited to think of a student studying all day and then coming out to training while I then put them through a ringer of a run test and then
a beep test,
some push-up tests,
push-ups for soccer players.
We got to be strong out there, Jason. But yeah, I mean, again, I think as you can hear in my voice and I start to get excited and go left and right, the key to all of this is, when you're looking for a degree as a student, or you're kind of, looking for more experiences from a university, we try to do that here. And being a coach, I can see that. And I'm as I start and tell you right now, come to Bond, you want to be involved in clubs and teams. You have a person that works here that also kind of goes out of their way to still be a part of something, on this campus. And I think, Jason, that's another thing with university, we want you to be part of something here at Bond specifically. There's something bigger to all this. And I'm telling you, I hope a student that is listening right now, you hear my voice, I hope I get to invite you to campus and walk you around for a campus tour, because there's something special about being on this specific campus and getting involved with clubs, getting involved with sports teams, getting involved with academics. And I'm sure if you rewound this 5 minutes ago, I was harping on the same things of involvement and the different things you can do here. So I think that's one thing I want all students to take away is, get yourself involved no matter where you go, whether it's with a soccer team, whether it's with a debating team, a food society, your local academic advisor, whatever it is. Our universities want to help you guys in every possible way we can. And if it is changing degrees 9 times, we want to be there to support you and help you find the one that eventually leads you to, which I'm hoping that you listen to, Kirsty's podcast, the one before this, and talked about, your employability and how that all happens. This all ties together, guys. I swear to you, we work together.
I'd be interested to hear Kirsty's take on your 9 degrees. But anyway, do you have any advice for students that are maybe in year 10, 11, 12 right now? They're thinking about going to university, but they're not sure what they would like to study, where they would like to go. Have you got any general advice based on your experience?
The number one thing I would say, we'll just go with year 10 to start. Start paying attention to what you like. I know sometimes it's really easy to kind of go to year 10 and have subjects selected for you or listen to your parents. Start paying attention if you're liking, and I use this already, but accounting or investments, or pay attention if you're liking, building or communication with people or music or whatever those things are. Start identifying those things in your year 10. Okay. If you're in year 11 now that you've started to identify some of those things that you're really interested in, start trying to take different subjects or involve yourself in different experiences that give you understanding of what those things are like. For example, there are plenty of students that say, I want to do medicine. I want to help people. I had a girl come into one of our medicine experience days. I don't know if it was a specific experience day, but saw a bit of blood or a cadaver, passed out. Okay. If there's certain things in some of these professions that you might have to do, or there's certain things in these different fields that might be a part of it. This is where I'm saying experience these things before you decide that you want to take 10 years to go down the path, then get in the profession and go, oh my gosh, I don't like blood. Okay. These are things to start, thinking about as you're going through. As you move forward to year 12, now if you have not done anything in year 10 or 11, that's still okay. You clearly have been alive and a part of all of this. So just start thinking about what is it that you like. And I know all of your advisors talk to you about what's your passion, all this stuff. I just want to tell you, the thing you can do without someone having to force you to do is the thing that you're going to be so happy with. So I just break that down with degrees. Don't let us force you into a Bachelor of Business or go do a Bachelor of Laws because you heard about someone doing it one time and it led you to this and did this. Go experience these things as best as possible. And again, at Bond, we have experience days. We have people like myself who will bring your parents onto campus. Go meet academics. Go sit in on a classroom for an hour. Guys, there are so many different things out there that can give you an experience of university before you actually step foot on the campus that can help you know this is the right decision. And Jason, and I know I'm so long-winded and I'm so sorry, but guys, the one last thing I want to say, believe in your gut, okay? You are going to feel certain things in these times where you're going, it doesn't feel right, okay? You want everything to click. When you stand on a university campus, when you meet individuals, when you talk to Jason, when you talk to myself, make sure all of these things click. I promise you, you'll feel it in your gut, okay? And if you don't, come see me. I'll make sure you do.
I'm really glad we had this conversation, Sean, because I didn't know that you'd been enrolled in 9 different degrees. When we had the conversation with Kirsty before on the other podcast about careers, we were talking about finding out what you don't want. And trying different things and learning from those experiences. And particularly when you're enrolled in a university or even in year 10, 11, and 12, it's actually the perfect time to find out what you don't want to do. Because I guess it's a little bit safer because your full-time job is to be a student. And you touched on following your gut. And do you have any advice on how students can find out their why? What's their motivation? Because students can be quite academically gifted, but without that motivation and that drive.
I love it. And it's one thing going back to kind of the coaching and soccer aspect of me. Before we start any season, I always go to the players and ask them, what is their why? Why do you wake up early to come to training and run your guts out? Why do you stay up late watching film? Why do you study until your eyes are hurting? Why do you give up the opportunity to go out with your friends and go to an awesome party and you decide to stay at home and study or prepare yourself for your future? These are the things you as an individual you want to start asking yourself, why the heck do I do this? What's it all worth? Start trying to find little goals. And I know, Jason, you are a firm advocate, and it works directly out of your office, but identifying goals, identifying when you get to university or even beforehand, what is it that you're trying to achieve? Do you want that beautiful red car out there? Is that what you want, or is that what your friend wants? Okay, do you want that house on the beach? Is that what you want, or is that what your parents want? Do you want that Bachelor of Law? Do you want to be a lawyer? Is that what you want, or is that what your sister wants? Okay, these are all things. Try to start to identify your own individuality in this path, because guys, this is your chance. You have a chance to make the decision on what you're going to do as a future. No one else, not me, not Jason, not your parents, not your teachers. You get to make this decision. And when it's your decision and you own it, you've thought about, why the heck am I doing this? What's the outcome? What job am I going to have? These are the things that are going to keep you going. When you have an opportunity, when someone comes and goes, hey, let's go to the beach right now. You don't need to study. You'll look at them in the face and go, no, I do need to study, because I do need to become a doctor, because I do need this to happen for my future. This is the strength behind your reasoning. And so that's where I say, find your why, or what is your why? Because you want to be so strong in your convictions for why you're doing something that there is not someone that can push you off left or right. If you get a poor grade for whatever reason, maybe something happens in your life, you can still fight on because your why is so strong. Side note, quick story, team. I have a really good friend, the one that let me, help me move to Australia. They did the Kokoda Challenge. I think that's 94 Ks. Mm. Him and his friend, they were both in the Kokoda Challenge as a team. All right, it's 94 Ks. No, I don't want to say his name. Sorry. Person X actually dropped out of the race 8 Ks before finishing. Wow. The friend finished the whole thing, loved it. Now, let me just take you back. I had 2 conversations with both of them. I remember asking person Y, who finished the competition, I asked him, what are you doing this for? Why are you doing this? What's going to happen when it hurts so bad you can't walk anymore? And he goes, Sean, I'm going to look to my father. My father passed away at a certain point. He's my driving motivation in my life. Whenever things get tough for me, I always look for this. I swear to you, he's with me through every step. I walked away from that conversation feeling very strongly that this man was going to finish the competition without any issue. Yeah. I talked to person X who did not finish. I said, what are you doing this for? Seemed like a good thing to do. I had some friends doing it. I want to be kind of part of this team. Seemed all right. When he was faced with the question of, why am I doing this 8 Ks away? My body hurts. My legs are falling off. I got toenails falling off, all that stuff. He decided, my why isn't strong enough. I'm happy to give up. But the other person who actually finished, when they got to that same exact point and asked that same exact question, they had a why. They had a why am I doing this? A strength behind their conviction on why they're actually putting themselves through something. And guys, I'll tell you, university degrees are fun. They're great. They teach you a lot, but they are grueling. Okay? They are hard. And I want to prepare you for that. You prepare yourself with your why.
It's not a sprint. No. It is more of a marathon to study a bachelor degree, 24 subjects over 6 semesters or so. So that's amazing advice for everyone to think about. What is your why?
Absolutely. Because, and again, last part on it really is, guys. If you can take anything away, I know I've said a few things that I want you to take away, but if you can start asking your question, why am I doing this, and have a strong answer, I promise you, for anything you do in your life, it's really going to help you.
Thank you so much, Sean. That's been amazing. I just want to make one last point. Do you do any ball drills in your training sessions with your team, or is it all just physical push-ups and running?
If you can outwork the opponent for 90 minutes, Jason, ball skills don't matter. No.
Thank you so much. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for having me, Jason. I really appreciate it.